Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very unfortunate topic to talk about. And that topic is a specific subsect of CC that I will officially refer to as, from here on out, the hyper grifters. Because they're playing a game, or really shilling for a game created by Hyper Grift, and they are some of the biggest grifting fucking CCs I've ever fucking seen. And let me explain to you what I mean by grifting. Grifting is when an individual flip-flops their opinion, changes their take on certain things just to best suit whatever interest they have at the moment. And at this moment, the interest is a financial one. And the grifters are, of course, going to be CCs like Mr. Pokey, good golly gee, Mr. HSR, Mr. Singapore. Who's surprised that he's grifting? And then we're, of course, going to have one of my favorite people. Sorry, just kidding. That's the exact opposite of what he is. We got Mr. 7 out of 10 over here, Mr. Kurofest. And that's going to make up the main composition of these hyper grifters that we're going to be talking about today. And don't worry, I have a reason for this. Because naturally, they've decided to defend their grifting stance as a result of some videos that have been published on my end, where I basically just say Endfield's gacha system is the worst fucking thing I've ever seen. People complained about that shit from the most recent open beta, and in their release livestream, they decided to make the entire fucking thing worse. And I described how, in every single way, it got worse throughout this video. But don't worry, there are going to be CCs out there who have accepted a contract from Hyper Grift, and, you know, now it's time to start their Hyper Grift. So let's see from Mr. Pokey what the take is over here, and make sure that we firmly address his suggestion and who he blames for the players' problems in here. No shade to bro, because it's a genuine question. And the question that he's responding to is somebody asking if Arknights Endfield requires 180 pulls for the guarantee. That is incorrect. It only requires 120. But there are some specific issues with that 120. Let's see how Pokey addresses this. No shade to bro because it's a genuine question, but I'm low-key convinced most issues in the space can be solved by reading and having a longer attention span. Alright, so we kind of like started off with calling the guy retarded. A fair play, it's a bit of a dumb question. People legit tune off the moment they read, pity doesn't carry forward. So that is a fact about Arknights Endfield. Endfield has a 120 pull pity on the limited character banner, where if you do not meet that pity, it resets entirely. 120 pulls costs upwards of about $100+ from the store. Maybe close to 200 depending on discount packages, so on and so forth. Bundling, right? This game has the potential for you to take $200 and get literally nothing out of it. This game and its banner system and its reset system allows a player to simply lose hundreds of dollars in pulls and get nothing in return for it. That's why people tune off when they read pity doesn't carry forward. A developer that's willing to put in a mechanic where if a player doesn't have enough knowledge about the system, doesn't read a guide on how to pull the gacha, doesn't know how to budget with the most convoluted resource system on God's green fucking earth, where to get arsenal tickets to pull weapons, you need to pull characters and then get arsenal tickets as a rebate for pulling the weapons. And so within the duration of a banner that lasts, let me show you how long the banners last. 17 fucking days, February 7th to 24th. 17 fucking days, guys. You're supposed to budget for those 120 pulls. Budget for the, I think it's 12,005, or sorry, how many weapon pulls is it? Let me go see. It's mentioned somewhere in this, Reddit thread. Yeah, you're 16,000 arsenal tickets and 120 pulls all within a 17-day frame. Yeah, that's the level of budgeting that's required. That level of budgeting, you could get employed having that skill set. Yeah, you could work an office job somewhere if you're planning and budgeting all of these different convoluted systems and how they work, the rebates, all of that, and pulling on a schedule. I'm not even joking. That's how fucking ridiculous this is. And with that level of complication, guys, keep in mind who's getting blamed here for having issues with the system or getting fucked over. To be fair, AKE gacha beats around the bush instead of having a concise explanation because they added things like 60x for a dossier, 30x for a free 10x pity, not for a free 10x pull not tied to pity, and 2 separate counts for 50-50 and the spark system. Yeah, that's super fucking complicated to have all these different measures tied into one banner and like 13 different like milestones for additional rewards tied into the banner as well by default. Yes, it's extremely convoluted and makes planning extremely difficult for many people. Now, let's read the final bit of advice here. If you want to guarantee a rate up 6-star, save 120 pulls. Whether you get them early or not, be prepared to go to 120. If you're lucky and win an early 50, then stop. Mr. Pokey is giving you the worst possible advice here if you actually plan on building your characters. And the reason for this is simple. I actually described the mechanic very well. Remember what I talked about before on how you get the Arsenal tickets? You get the Arsenal tickets from spending character pulls. If you win an early 50-50 and you stop pulling on the character banner, what do you think's going to happen to your weapon pulls? Oh, you won't have enough because you won an early 50-50. And the game is expecting you to spend them, to rebate them, to pull the weapons. And so if you win early, you are literally punished in this game by not being able to pull a weapon. Well, obviously, in a title like this, a game that's fucking modern with its systems, that's been out for nearly 2 years at this point, so there's no excuse for Endfield to have something different than this. When you win a 50-50 here, or get it early, what do you do in Woo-Wah? Oh, you pull the fucking weapon. The weapon is the reward for getting an early 5-star. In this game, you are punished for getting an early 5-star by not having the rebate pulls to pull the weapon. With that in mind, does this sound like a good system? No, it didn't. That's why these devs decided to, in their infinite wisdom, make an update, guys, so that you can now exchange Oreo geometries for weapon pulls. Do you know what Oreo geometries are? It's this shit. And you can see over here, this is the shit you buy for cash. Yeah, you see over here the direct conversions of dollars to Oreo geometries, right? This is what they're telling you you can spend on weapon pulls. But look up here. You can already buy weapon pulls for dollars in the store. So, this is essentially like them pretending this is any different from what they already had. They already had this. You just buy the weapon pulls for money. And now they're saying, oh, the Oreo geometries you buy for money, oh, you could spend those on directly on weapon pulls. That was how they're addressing this system. By basically giving only whales a method to go direct to Arsenal tickets. But they already had one from the fucking store. This is what these rat fuck hyper grifting CCs are supporting right now. This is the stuff they're not talking about. These are the dynamics that they will refuse to address because they got a direct deposit in their bank account. Why do you think I started off this video by describing what grifting was? Do you see any mention at all of that weapon, rebate, disgusting 50-50 punishment mechanic in any address by any CC except me? No. Because it's literally one of the worst things anyone in the space has ever seen. Getting punished for losing a 50-50 or for winning one, and as a result, not being able to pull a weapon. That is the dynamic in Endfield, and it's the opposite, direct polar opposite to what every other modern gacha has. Now, let's read this final sentence here by Mr. Jokey, and this is probably my favorite one ever because it'll allow us to basically, this is like Pokey throwing an alley-oop to me. And he's on the other team, and I just dunk it on him. Let's read this. If you do not want the rate up, do not pull on the banner, not even a single 10x. Better to save and only commit for a spark than to waste spark counts. So this is what we're doing. We are blaming the player for having issues or getting screwed over by the gacha system that the developers made. We are blaming the player and saying it is their responsibility to deal with the giga predatory awful system the developers have made instead of directly addressing the fact that this system at its core is completely fucked. But don't worry, right? This shouldn't be surprising to you. This should have been expected because what else has Mr. Pokey done in the past? Oh, right. It's almost literally the anniversary of this tweet too. So, I mean, we had to do it to him one more time, right? Just had to do it to him one more time, brother. HSR has a power creep problem only if you allow it to happen, either by greed or stupidity. And the funniest thing is that this is actually, quote, retweeted, and he just doubles down in a post 2 hours later. Bro just doubles down, right, on blaming the players for something that the devs designed. I guess we just do it again. We're blaming the players for having issues with something the dev designed. Because there's another system in here, right, that I think that if you're a content creator, you should have immediately been calling out. Because it kills the content creation scene in this game. On this game's debut banner, Yvonne is 34 days after release. Gilberta 17. But if you wail enough on Surtur's banner, who's the first one, you can win Yvonne or Gilberta off of the 50-50 loss. So if you pull enough times on this banner, you will eventually, hopefully, get an early copy of these two up to 34 days before their banner begins. Extremely predatory, right? It's obviously encouraging a shit ton of whaling day one, and it's something a CC will have to do. There's no other way other than for them to do this, to have access to the characters to make guides on their release. And you want to know what Mr. Pokey said he's going to do as a result of that?
Plan. Where we are gonna be having a Pokey Corp account.
Yeah, listen to his plan.
So the Pokey Corp account is not just my account. Mm-hmm. It is going to be the account that will be played by a lot of Pokey Corpers, bobbers.
Yep, shared account.
Which means when I hop on to the Pokey Corp account, it is our account, right? It is not my account, right? It is not my account. It is not my account. It is our account. And we have decided for the best course of Arknights Endfield, our account, right? Yeah. Our account is gonna be dropping $1 billion.
So there you go. Mr. Pokey's suggestion for his community and his channel is to, when the devs put in one of the most predatory mechanics the space has ever seen, where you have to drop thousands of dollars on release to have access to these units, he's saying that he's going to crowdsource an account with his community to spend thousands of dollars and basically beg his viewers to pay for the polls that he's going to be using to make guides on this game. You want to know why? Because he knows how disgustingly expensive it's going to be to actually get these units. And so instead of talking about how absurdly predatory this is, he's begging his community for money because I don't think he can afford it by himself. I'm not even joking. If you've taken a look at this guy's YouTube lately, and I mean this in no offense, this is why I am saying he's literally grifting right now. Bro is not doing well. And so we see him minimizing and barely talking about, or really not even addressing, the giga predatory things, right, that Hypergriff is doing with that weapon rebate, all of that shit. Oh, and of course, the no pity carryover, right? And now he's begging his viewers for money to overcome the disgusting design of Enfield's launch banners. He is begging his community for money to overcome this shit. Isn't this literally the most grifting shit you've ever seen? I'm just saying, isn't this actually genuinely the most grifting shit you've ever seen? But don't worry, guys, it gets worse. Now we've got another content creator that you're all probably familiar with that I've already publicly made videos on, calling him a gigantic fucking grifter. And don't worry, the fork was found in the kitchen once again. So let's hear from this clip from Mr. 7 out of 10.
Gacha systems are not good, duh. But like, you have to play around the rules of the gacha system for it to be the best for you.
Yeah, and what you know what you can also do as like a CC and a player? During the beta tests, instead of blindly saying that the system's good because you're getting a contract, you tell the devs it's one of the worst systems ever and that they should change it. So that on release, you don't end up with disgusting shit like this. But hey, let's just blame the player. It's fine, right? We raid Mr. Pokey, and Mr. Pokey raids us every day, right? So blaming the player is probably something we've picked up by now.
By just throwing amounts of pulls into every single banner, like, you're only punishing yourself, really.
No, you're getting punished because that's how the devs decided to design their gacha system, by having no pity carryover. You're not punishing yourself, you're getting punished by the developer because they just designed the system like that for fun.
So I feel like the player has to conform to the gacha system.
No, the gacha system should fit the majority of players that would be playing Endfield, and majority of Endfield players are coming from Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, those franchises where there is pity carryover on every banner. And so, to just go ahead and expect people to dramatically shift their way of pulling and also subject themselves to losing over like hundreds of dollars in exchange for nothing is ridiculous.
Not the other way around. You know? Gacha systems are evil. And so, what, are we supposed to expect that every single one conforms to us?
Gacha systems are evil, and so instead of asking for them to be better, we should just deal with it. Isn't this the most grifting fucking possible statement a CC for gacha games could make when you know that a majority of your viewers are free to play? Because that's just how it works. The majority of your viewers are free to play or don't spend a lot of money on games. And now you're just over here saying, just deal with it, bro. Yeah, stop complaining. All gachas are bad. And this one being super bad, just deal with it. It's crazy. The words that will come out of your mouth live on stream because you got a direct deposit payment.
Rather than we just go, okay, so I just need to save. I don't know. I just feel like it makes sense. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it makes sense. Like, I understand the situation.
And this is also the other thing. We can be grifting for the company, but we can also be grifting for the community too. Because this is just a bit of a preview, right? This is just a bit of a preview of the comments that are seen on the Arknights Endfield official Discord server, following my videos that just tell the truth about the gacha system. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, they want me to go do COD Modern Warfare 2 IRL. Oh, there we go. Now they're going for my viewers. Oh, well, I guess this, once you think about it, is it much of a surprise that Genizad and Mr. Pokey are grifting to this community? Not really surprising that these guys are grifting for this community, right? Not surprising at all. Oh boy, wait, no, this is like the perfect fit for them. They're probably excited to. Now that I think about it, maybe they didn't even get contracts. They're just doing this for free. No, I think they saw what's going on in this server and they decided they're gonna do it for free. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Because we got another clip, guys. Another clip from a hyper grifter. And this one's gonna be pretty good too.
Or maybe I'm not explaining it right. But what I'm saying is, I don't care about impatient pullers.
He doesn't care about the players that will get fucked over by the system. Let me again show you this post over here. They are making literal guides on how to pull on the gacha that are like literally thousands of words long. Thousands of words long on how to pull on the gacha. That is something the Endfield community has. Do you want to see like something else the Endfield community has? I'm gonna have to go look in my server for it for a second. This is how complicated the gacha system is. This is every single component just from pulling. It's this complicated with this many different features and like outcomes and decisions to make to optimize your resources. Listen to this take. Knowing this. Knowing how complex the system is, listen to this take.
Or maybe I'm not explaining it right. But what I'm saying is, I don't care about impatient pullers because they are causing their own problem.
Hey guys, if you don't understand this and lose resources, it's your fault. If you don't understand this perfectly and waste resources because of it, it's not the developers making a fucked up system. It's not a developer, right, messing up. It's the player's fault for not getting knowledgeable about this shit when no other game has a system even close to this convoluted. But don't worry, there's more.
What I'm saying is, the system could be better, but it's also completely their fault.
The system could be better, but it's completely your fault that you are not able to perfectly navigate this flowchart. Remember, guys, it's your fault if you don't understand this. It's your fault. And my favorite thing is, guys, you look at the commentary here. We got Braxophone posting this. It's easier to cook meth. My brain hurts. TLDR. I'm confused. Kindly explain. Do you have a simplified version? Never in my every response is everyone saying this is confusing as shit. Every person is saying that. But hey.
The system could be better, but it's also completely their fault.
Do you see why the name Hyper Grifter is so apt? Because what is this other than the most hyper grifting shit you've ever fucking seen? A system that is being universally identified as the most complex, convoluted gacha system the space has ever seen, that gives the consumer so many different like holes, sinkholes to get fucked over by. And we have CCs like Mr. 7 out of 10 and Mr. Jokey, who have a literal history of being grifting fucks. Oh, wait, sorry. I forgot to show the Genizad history of grifting. Oh,
Care what they think. Curlbots are a waste of breath, bro. They're worthless. I do not care what those people think. I haven't even looked at the comments.
And the craziest thing is that the Wuthering Waves community is the only reason why this guy even has viewership now in the first place. Do you want to know what Wuthering Waves did for this guy's channel? All you need to do is like literally look at his stats. You'll see what the most played game was during his growth as a streamer last year. Absolutely nothing, right? We're stuck at like 400, 700 viewers. Then it starts going up. Oh, the only thing on here is woo-wah. Then, in this part of the year, we tell the community to go re-roll IRL so the viewers go down. The only reason why our channel grows from January 25 onwards is because of Wuthering Waves. And then, after we tell the community to, in this part of the year, July, August, go re-roll IRL because you called me a clapped walnut and my feelings are hurt, then it goes down. And this guy just straight up says the community's like a complete waste of breath, whatever, right? All that crazy wording, all that shit. When the woo-wah community is the reason why he even has a Twitch channel right now.
I have a bunch of notifications on YouTube. Do not care what they think. You know, I'm down to read comments for videos. It's not even worthwhile reading comments when it's about Wuthering Waves because it's just the dumbest humans in existence always comment. It's not worth it. They're too stupid to live.
That's what we said to the community. That is responsible for all the growth that we had in 2025. That's the level of grifting this guy will have. He will pretend to like a game that he actually hates for views, and then when convenient, turn on the community. Oh, wait, he already did that for Epic 7. That's why everyone on the Epic 7 content creation scene hates him. That's why, oh, he did that for Wuthering Waves. That's why everybody in the Wuthering Waves content creation scene hates him. And well, you already know what happened from fucking CZN, that live stream. You guys remember that CZN live stream that killed the game where it was like him, Fob, and other people? Yeah, the CZN community fucking hates him too. I don't know, right? That's just the level of grifting that's happening live here, ladies and gentlemen.
Is like, yeah, sure, it'd be nice if the system was better.
Yeah.
We're all in agreement with that. But also, they are causing their own problem.
No, they're not. If you are blaming the player at any capacity for not being able to understand this system and falling victim to a loss in resources or a loss in their pity or a loss of monetary value as a result of not being able to navigate this shit, it's not their fault. It's not their fucking fault because the devs intentionally decided to make the most complicated gacha fucking system ever.
Right. So it's like, I don't really feel sympathy for people who are causing their own.
I don't feel sympathy for those who are causing their own problems. No, he doesn't. Because they're not causing their own problems. They're entirely caused by hypergrif. And because this guy's on payroll, or maybe he's not, maybe he's doing this for free, and that's even more pathetic, right? This is the most grifting shit ever. And as a bit of an extra add-on, just to show the level of hyper-grifting Genizad's had in even more instances in the past, here we have Genizad praising Honkai Star Rail's Honkai Star Rail 3.4's spending event for Archer's Light Cone. You might be familiar with this creator. This is Genizad, and these are his thoughts on the event.
Limited time discounts after the collab event starts. When Trailbenders spend the designated number of Star Rail special passes, they can
actually really good.
The limited 5-star.
Actually really good.
You don't have
So basically, Genizad's on the record, and for HSR, because he shares a viewer base with Mr. Pokey, and obviously, if Mr. Pokey's rating you, the HSR guy, you want to pretend you like the game, Genizad was basically just coming himself, right? Looking at this giga predatory mechanic that Hoyoverse decided to put in. A massive rebate for pulling 200 times in one version, which, if you're not familiar with how pulls in HSR work, you have to spend money to do that. So this is a spending event where people got to spend money. And Genizad's saying this is the best shit ever. Now, though, let's play and hear a little bit about how he's talking about Gilded Night Market in comparison, right? And Gilded Night Market was the rebate event that Wuthering Waves had during its anniversary.
Kind of crappy. Yeah, I don't really like that. You know, I'm gonna be real. I think Artethia is the next banner. The moment that I see this, bro, they're totally gonna have a big banner right after.
We're this hypercritical about the Wuthering Waves 5-pull rebate, while saying HSR and its 200-pull light cone spending event that's great. Because, right, the honest truth is we're a fucking grifter. That's just what it is. So there's a little bit of extra glue for you guys. And the last comment that I'll make on this entire situation is this whole dynamic of Mr. Pokey begging his chat for money to fund his guides because of how predatory the Endfield devs decided to make their starting banners is also the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. Imagine having so little money as a content creator that instead of just going ahead and saying that the game is awfully designed for CCs and realizing that because of your financial position, you're begging your community for money so that you can play this giga predatory game. Like, this feels like a kid asking his parents for allowance to, like, go buy drugs. But, like, you like, told them it's actually for, like, school supplies or something. It's giving me, like, those vibes, and it's fucking pathetic. Like, wow. I'm sorry. Begging your chat for money because you know you have to spend thousands of dollars to make guides? How about you just openly admit the system's trash? Whatever. Some people have no morals. Some people have no backbone. Some people literally have the opposite of a fucking spine. And hopefully the breakdown that we've done today has only helped illuminate further just the types of people, just the types of CCs, and obviously just the type of massive fucking hyper grifting that's happening right now, and that's going to happen in the next few days as this game gets closer to release. But don't worry, I'll be here on the front line, ready to, I don't know, address any more of these issues. Let's see how many more tweets come out over the next couple of days. I'll be waiting. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.